So here's an update on some of the more flowery side of the garden. Let me run you through a few bits. As always, thank you for the likes, and thank you for the subscriptions, and thank you for the comments. I did a veg update the other day, so let me show you a little bit about what we're at on the colour and interest side. Now we're going to deadhead the daffodils. You can see they're well finished now. See these guys? See these guys here? They're just beginning to appear. So we're going to remove some of those. And with daffodils, leave as much of the foliage on as possible. Don't go lifting them. In actual fact, you can feed them if you can. Some sort of proprietary liquid plant feed, maybe about half the normal rate. Just because you're looking to bulk up the bulbs for this time next year. Now, in actual fact, the soil when these were going in last autumn was well prepared, and there was plenty of organic matter going in. Again, I'm thinking next year, enjoying them this year, but thinking next year. So with them, in order to expose those tulip flowers, I am going to cut the daffodil stems down to about the same height as the flowers, just so we can better appreciate the flowers themselves. I have a secateurs in hand and a bucket as well. So you can see the effect almost straight away, removing the daffodil, some of the daffodil stems as well, and just exposing those tulips. And of course, you know I'm a fan of the flowers, and this one again is one of that batch of the miniature wallflowers. And I've kept it out separately from planting it because I want to protect it. I want to see if I can get some cuttings because the scent off it is lovely. But look what's at the base. I'm not the only one that's enjoying them. So they'll take a trip away. And as I walk around, anytime I come across weeds like that, you know, pull them out as you go. Stop them in their tracks. So can I enter this sunflower for the sunflower challenge, Nick? You'll have to let me know if it will do. This was made by my dad, who does a lot of copper craft work. He made this and gave it to me for my birthday a couple of years ago. So I have to say I love it. It's always a great feature in the garden. These, by the way, are a little narcissi called falconet. I got the packet free from a garden centre, the Green Kitchen garden centre actually, in February. They were giving them away. They hadn't sold, so they were giving them away because it was very late at that point for planting bulbs. So I put them in their 4-litre pots, and they've grown away. They've given a little bit of heat in the glass house there to start them off, get them going, and then I've hardened them off and took them out. So they're flowering away. This plume of foliage is rocket gone to flower. I suppose some people would say it's gone to seed, but seed will follow. But it's actually in flower at the moment, just by the compost heap area here, and it's looking particularly well. It's looking particularly well. In here I have some of these elephant garlic coming on in pots, so they need to be planted out. Some delphinium here that I grew from seed, I've mentioned them already. They're actually shooting up now and producing their flower stems. I am going to harden them off. I need this bit of space, to be honest. Here are all the dahlias, or certainly most of them anyway. So there's plenty coming on and growing. Some are producing their green shoots already, and some have yet to produce any green shoots. Quite pleased with this. I know it doesn't look like much now, but this is a shrub rose called Evelyn, pruned in March. So that's quite late. It was sort of towards the end of March, and normally I have my roses done in February, but because of the weather that we had at the end of February and then the second snowstorm coming back through, it really did delay things. So I don't want to say that I butchered it, because I didn't. Well, I did, but it was a structural butchering. You can see the way I pruned it so it was a lot more open, more or less the shape of your hands type of piece, leaving some main good sturdy main trusses there, removing some of the weaker growth, dead growth, crossing over growth. You know, it hadn't been done properly in a couple of years, so I did go quite hard on it. And it's amazing because these older buds on the stem, they do have dormant buds in there, you know, waiting to come along. The rest of the bed is a bit of a mess. There's sort of scotch grass here among some of the lovely Crocosmia George Davidson, and you can see the creeping buttercup needs to be cleared away, and the remains of a Lavateria there. I'm not sure if I'll leave it or keep it, but anyway, a lot of work needed in this area, but it'll come back quite quickly. A bit of weeding, a bit of mulching with some manure or some good rich compost, and we'll be happy, won't we, Puskins? We'll be very happy. It's the beautiful Ilex europaeus floriplanus, the double flowered gorse, the shrubby one, not the one that spreads everywhere. It's later evening now, so you don't see as much insect activity, but during the day it's awash with bees. Beautiful. Oh, by the way, when I'm out, see that chair over there? That's what I call the chair of contemplation. Just in case you think I'm constantly working, that's where I'll have my cup of tea and I'll do my tweeting from, and other social media stuff as well. And catch you soon.